Why do you need a screwdriver?
I don't know, dude. It's just weird. It's weird to start this shit off like, oh, here's the day of my life. Look at me. I got a phone. Alright, so sometimes the pigments in the white ink can settle down to the bottom of the bottles. So we're just going to take all the caps off real quick to just the white ink, grab a stir stick, start stirring away, get those pigments moving back in there. That way we end up with a very nice white print. We don't really need to stir the colors or anything like that. The pigments kind of stay put. So we're going to fill up our white bottles right now. Make sure that they're topped off so we don't end up with like a misprint or anything like that. And just put the caps back on. Next thing we want to do is we want to come over and check our white lines. If you notice right here, there's going to be some separation. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. We're just going to unclip those lines right there and get some of that white ink flowing through. We're going to go ahead and turn our pump on. This is going to pump some of that white ink from our bottles in the back all the way through these lines into our print head. You can see it's purging those air bubbles out, and now we have solid white, so we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and unclip all these color lines while the pump is still running, so that way it kind of purges it, and we're good to go. Now that we primed all the lines, we're going to go ahead and turn the printer on. It's going to run through its little beep boop check here. Everything looks like it's good to go, so we're going to go ahead and do a head clean. We're actually going to do a couple of these, about 2 to 3 head cleans. So now we've got to go ahead and get ready for our nozzle check, just to make sure that none of our channels are clogged or anything like that. Can be cause some big problems during printing. Now our printer is actually really cool. It has this auto height adjustment feature on it. Make sure that the platen doesn't end up too close to the print head and you get a head strike. That's very, very bad. So let's go ahead and do this nozzle check here. Right, everything turned out nice and clean, no clogged channels. We're going to go ahead and use some alcohol and clean off the ink on here on our platen. Give it a nice rub down, get rid of any dust or anything else that's on there. So we're back over here at the heat press. We're going to check and make sure it's up to temp. It's getting there. We have it set at 330. Some of these heat presses are off by 5 to 10 degrees. So we're going to take our temp gun here and check it out. And right now it's right at about 303. We want to check the pressure settings on the heat press. Pre-treat, we want to be right at about like 5 or 6 on the pressure gauge here. So just grab a junk shirt, throw it on there, check it out. We head on over to our pre-treat station. We use Firebird pre-treat, by far the best that we've ever used. The pre-treat machine that we have is a King Cobra pre-treat machine by Cobra DTG. If you have any questions, just hit us up in the comments. Right now we're just getting it all set up here. We're going to reach inside this treasure trove of t-shirts, and we're going to grab just one of our test shirts. It's a Spectra t-shirt that we have laying around. Usually we like to print on some higher quality stuff like Bella Canvas, but this one will do. We're going to load it up here. It's super simple. Just make sure you get all the wrinkles out. And here we go. It sprays a nice consistent layer down. Anyone in the DTG world knows that consistency is key. So we get a nice even spray. We're just going to grab this shirt and load it right back here onto our heat press. We're going to press it down for, we do 20 seconds at a time so we don't scorch the t-shirt. But we're going to do a couple of those, so probably 2 to 3 presses right at about 20 seconds a piece. We use this like silicone parchment paper. We're going to toss it on there. It's great for like single use stuff with the pre-treat. You can see all the steam coming out, so it's actually get that nice and dry. Press number 2. And And just to be safe, we're going to do another press here. Alright, if it's all nice and dry, we're going to go ahead and grab our platen and load the t-shirt on it. Make sure it's all nice and straight, lined up. You want to make sure your seams are even. Just tuck it in, get all that extra fabric under there so nothing gets stuck in the machine or anything like that. There's that fancy auto height adjustment feature in action again. Now here's the artwork that we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and get this dropped into our RIP software. Simple drag and drop, real easy. We're going to get all of our settings all dialed in. So it's a black t-shirt, so we're going to go black environment. Let's see, we're going to make a couple of changes to the settings here. We're going to make sure that white really pops out, so we're adjusting our highlight layers. Each program's a little bit different. We're not going to get into too much detail on it. Once we have all of our settings all dialed in, we're going to go ahead and send this to RIP, send all the information to the printer, and here we go. Now that the print's done, we're going to take the platen off the printer. We're going to very carefully take the shirt off, put it back on our heat press. We're going to throw one of these craft sheets on there. It gives it a much better feel and finish. So we've got to do this 90-second press, 2 of them, to fully cure the ink. Make sure there's no bleeding or anything like that once you wash it.
Nice.